Welcome to another explainer video on Fiqh for Economists series. Today, we're tackling a huge question at the heart of finance. How do you secure a loan when you can't charge interest? It's a massive challenge, and Islamic finance has a really unique and, frankly, ancient answer.
We're talking about a fundamental issue of trust that affects all of us, whether you're lending a friend $20 or trying to get a massive mortgage for a new house.
So, let's lay out the problem. If a lender can't make a profit from interest, what's their safety net? What protects them if the borrower just can't pay it back? How do you build that trust into the system without the usual financial penalties and rewards? Well, Islamic finance actually developed a framework for this centuries ago. Okay, let's get into it. And the solution is a contract called Rahn. Now, that name might be new to you, but the basic idea? A pledge, a mortgage, a pawn? These things are as old as money itself. But as you're about to see, Rahn has some really crucial ethical differences that set it apart.
So how does it actually work? Well, in a Rahn contract, the debtor, the person who owes the money, provides some kind of property as security. Could be jewelry, a car, even a house. But here's the key. This is not a transfer of ownership. Think of it more like a security deposit. It's all about giving the creditor peace of mind and building that essential trust right into the DNA of the agreement.
And listen, this isn't some newfangled financial product cooked up in a lab. The concept of Rahn has incredibly deep roots. It's actually mentioned in the Quran as a practical tool for commerce. And there's even a well-known story of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who once pledged his own armor to secure a loan of grain. So from the very beginning, the goal has always been about ensuring fairness and protecting everyone involved.
Okay, so for a Rahn contract to actually be valid and binding, it has to be built on 5 essential components. You can think of them as the 5 pillars holding the whole structure up. Let's break down exactly what they are. So at its heart, it's a really simple two-way street. You've got the creditor, also known as the pledgee. They provide the loan. And in return, the debtor, or the pledgor, provides an asset as collateral. It's this mutual agreement, this give and take, that forms the foundation of the entire contract. Now, for this contract to be legitimate, all 5 of these pillars have to be in place. You need the 2 people involved, the pledger and the pledgee. You need the actual property being pledged. You obviously need the debt that's being secured. And finally, you need a formal offer and acceptance, the handshake, so to speak. If even one of these elements is missing, the whole contract is considered void. It's all designed to eliminate any gray areas and protect both people. And this is really where Rahn stands apart from a conventional loan with collateral. The specific rules that govern the rights and duties of each person are what make it so ethically distinct. They're designed to prevent anyone from being exploited. You can see this beautiful balance of responsibilities here. The debtor, the pledgor, never loses ownership of their property. It's still theirs, and because it's theirs, they're responsible for its upkeep. The creditor, the pledgee, on the other hand, is just holding the item in trust. It's called an amana. Their only job is to keep it safe. They're actually liable if they're negligent. This is so critical because it completely prevents the creditor from profiting off the asset itself. This leads us to one of the most foundational principles in all of Islamic finance. Every loan that draws benefit is riba, and riba essentially means usury or interest. This single idea frames lending as an act of help, not as a business opportunity to profit from someone else's debt. So this brings us to some really important guardrails. The creditor absolutely cannot use the pledged item for their own gain. So no, they can't drive the pledged car or live in the pledged house. And this is huge. If the debtor defaults, the creditor can't just say, well, this is mine now. No way. They have to go through a proper legal process to sell it. They can only recover the exact amount they're owed, and any extra money from the sale must go right back to the original owner. So I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds like a system from a totally different time. But honestly, you'd be amazed. The principles of Rahn are being applied today in some very, very modern financial situations. For instance, if you go to Malaysia, the Rahn system is a massive, thriving Shari'ah-compliant pawnbroking industry. These same principles are also the backbone of Islamic mortgages and financing for small businesses. And get this, in a totally modern twist, scholars are now figuring out how you can pledge digital assets, like Bitcoin or NFTs, as collateral. It just goes to show you how adoptable this framework really is.
All right, you've been listening for a while, so how about a quick pop quiz? I'm going to put 3 questions up on the screen. Do me a favor and drop your answers in the comments below. Let's see how you do.
First one up. What is the main number 1 purpose of a Rahn contract? Is it A, to transfer ownership, B, to secure a debt, C, to sell something with conditions, or D, to just create a loan? What do you think?
Question number 2. Let's say a pledged car needs an oil change. Who has to pay for it? Is it A, the pledgee, who's holding the car, B, the pledgor, who owns the car, C, both of them, or D, some third party? And for our last question, which one of these statements is actually true about the rights of the pledgee, the creditor? Now this gets right to the ethical heart of the whole contract. I'm really curious to see what you all say for this one. At the end of the day, the Rahn contract is a really powerful reminder that securing debt doesn't have to be a predatory process. It offers a model that's actually built on trust and the mutual protection of everyone involved. Which kind of leaves us with a big final question, doesn't it? Could this ancient framework actually hold some of the keys to building a more equitable and ethical financial system for all of us? Let me know what you think. Thanks for joining us.